World of Warcraft is alt-friendlier than ever. Achievements are shared, your golden items are shared, if you remember to put them into the Warband bank. Transmog and other collectibles are automatically added to your account-wide collection. There are very little things that are unique to a single character on your account outside of gear and old reputations. So, do you even need a main going into midnight? With the pre-patch well underway and the expansion coming soon, in this self-therapy session disguised as a WoW video, I want to look at the pros and cons of having a main versus being a main switcher, or even an alcoholic. Am I missing out on the joys of having a forever main that I know like the back of my hand and can play with my eyes closed, or is playing also different mains just the way I, and I'm guessing many others, play the game? So if you've never been able to stick to a main either, this video is for you. Your main is the character you spent the most time on in this game. For some people, this character hasn't changed in 20 years. Like they might play an alt here and there, but they always come back to that same character for the important stuff, the campaign, reputations, achievements, and so on. On the other end, we've got people switching for every expansion or even every season. I see this a lot in videos by other content creators and in the mirror. I'm on the extreme, I'll play whatever I want to play today spectrum, but I've never fully given into it because I do recognize the benefits of a main, like, you'll always know which character completed or unlocked something. When the Battle for Azeroth meta achievement and the secret motorcycle came out, I had to do a full reconstruction to remember which character originally played through that content, because while you can skip parts of the introduction, Mechagon, Nashadar, and the Zod infected zone progression is character specific and tedious to do again. That sucked. This also means your reputation screens look finished. And when new content, like say housing and decor comes out, you can just buy the new decor without having to search for the characters that had that reputation or regrind it because you deleted that character that had that rep. See my video on deleting half my characters on my main channel, link in the description. Playing one character also means you'll have developed muscle memory on that character. You could play that character in your sleep, giving you more time and mental energy to focus on the actual content of the game, or is the way the class plays the content. Outside of people playing multiple classes of the same role, like all tanks and all healers, there are very, very few people that can multi-class at the highest level. And even the people at multi-classes, healer or tanks, usually have a class comfy preference. You can kind of counteract this by putting similar abilities on the same keybinds across all your characters. Like my interrupt is always on mouse wheel down, and so if I switch characters, I can trust that mouse wheel down will be an interrupt. The big thing that's still character specific and will probably always be character specific is gear. Getting good gear on a character usually takes some time and effort, especially early on in the expansion. While you could try to maintain multiple characters every week, it quickly becomes a big time investment between weeklies, delves, Mythic Plus, and maybe even Raid. Switching later in the season isn't as painful as it once was, but it still means you have to farm a lot of gear and upgrade items to get back to the level of your previous character. And that's if Blizzard decides to even give you actual items that you need instead of 3 necklaces and 84 trinkets from delves. If you end up switching between seasons or expansions, this point doesn't matter as much because you'll be able to catch up gear or outlevel your bad gear. A big reason why I was able to stick with one character longer in Shadowlands was because it was very punishing to switch. You needed to craft legendaries, which required farming a lot of reagents in Torghast. The amount you could farm was time-gated and limited, so switching felt actively worse than just continuing playing a character you were a bit bored on. Score, both PvE and PvP, are also character-specific. While you can link your Raider IO to your main 3k main healer, trust me bro, your fresh ult will have a mythic score of exactly 0 and probably also a low item level. Switching midway through the season means starting at 0, which I guess for some people is also a challenge. Basically, the upsides of having a main boil down to always knowing what you're getting and where you left everything, both abilities and items. Having a main is comfy and predictable, but it can also be a bit stale, especially if your brain craves variety and new things. I wholeheartedly believe in the reasons I just listed why having a main is good, but I think I finally have to accept, after 20 years, that that is not for me. I've tried sticking to one character multiple times. The longest time I spent on one character might be my rogue that I made in vanilla, not even my first character by the way, and the only reason I played it for so long is because switching characters in vanilla meant losing months of time leveling and then another 5,000 hours gearing and running Stratholme before that rogue ever saw the inside of Zul'Gurub 40. My second longest time on one character was probably when I saw another protection paladin throw a shield Captain America style in a leveling dungeon, and I decided that that was the coolest thing I've ever seen, so naturally I became a protection paladin. I'll let you guess when that was based on the name. Every expansion or patch that releases, I have a new aha moment about a different class, and then my friend and I are like, duh, this character's perfect for you. It's so obvious. Why didn't we think of it earlier? None of these characters have ever become my forever main. My forever main doesn't exist. Yes, it sucks not knowing which character has progressed the most in Mechagon. And yeah, I'd like to stick to one character long enough to be kinda good at it, but I've been trying to brute force picking a class and sticking to it for 20 years and it hasn't worked. Sunk cost fallacy hasn't worked on me. Blizzard making the game more alt-friendly especially hasn't worked on me, because if I didn't know how to stick to one class in the Burning Crusade, I certainly won't now when you give me a cloth warbound robe on my leather character. All the classes all have cool parts and bad parts. Basically what I'm saying is either you pick something that has downsides, but is a close enough match to what you want out of the game, delete all your other alts and accept that the grass isn't greener on the other side forever and ever, or you ask yourself, is switching even a problem? Do I even need a forever main? The main reason why I don't think switching is a problem is that the reason why you even like a class or spec might change, or you might change, or both. The way a class plays and feels changes all the time, especially after the recent pruning and add-on apocalypse. The difficulty and abilities of roles have changed a lot. Do healers need to do damage now? Yes or no? Oh hey, the only healer with an interrupt now has double the cooldown on that ability. The demands and difficulty of the games have changed many times over, and even entire class and spec fantasies have changed. In vanilla, I was obsessed with combat rogue, but then it was changed into outlaw rogue, and I did not care for the whole pirate Edwin Van Cleef aesthetic at all. It took years for me to even try outlaw because I was avoiding it out of spite. I thought it was the worst rogue spec, and also because it kinda sounded complicated. Classes change. Thing that once made warlocks and shadow priests unique has been ported over to demon hunters. Survivor hunters were a ranged spec for the first 12 years of World of Warcraft. Imagine logging into your fire mage when the midnight pre-patch is released and suddenly being a melee battle mage. Actually, that sounds pretty cool. My point is that the common advice of basing your spec or class choice on playstyle or even fantasy doesn't guarantee you'll want to play it forever, but it is a good indication you'll like it now, and honestly that's good enough. If you've been playing this game for a while and you've tried all the classes and you haven't picked a main yet that you can't stop playing due to your long connection to that character or sunk cost fallacy, you likely won't find a re-roll proof stop switching way to pick your main now either, and that's fine. It's alright to just decide when you want to play now for this expansion or maybe even the next season. So, do you need a main for Midnight or even at all? Well, if your playtime is limited or if you've set high goals for this season, it's probably the best bet to pick a class you want to spend the most time on before jumping into the next expansion. This doesn't have to be a permanent decision, but depending on the goals you set for yourself in Midnight, you might need a main for the first season at least. If you play more casually or you have more time, main is kind of completely optional and you can switch as many times as you want. Currently, and this might still change, I'm thinking of going into Midnight Season 1 with a Demon Hunter and a Druid. They seem like the best fits for me right now, but I'm also letting go of the expectation I'll be playing them in Season 2 or Season 3. Mains? Maybe. Forever mains? Nah, probably not. And also I need to give myself some space because what if my actual forever main class will be released in The Last Titan? Anyway, have you decided on a main for Midnight yet? Or are you a forever main player? Let me know in the comments, and of course, thanks for watching.